my fitness platform, and really what I'm trying to do here is just stay in equilibrium. I don't want to sacrifice flexibility at the expense of just doing strength training. I don't want to sacrifice strength by totally focusing on cardiovascular strength. Hey gang, welcome back to Mark's 60 Plus Fitness Journey. Today is a beautiful Monday, May 23rd, 2022 here. I hope it's equally beautiful where you are, and it's good to see you. Now, today I want to talk about my fitness platform. And this fitness platform I speak of is basically the platform upon which I kind of try to create, hopefully have created, an all-around comprehensive fitness regime for this old guy, this 62-year-old man. So let me show you what that's about. And I'll go over it at a higher abstract level. I'm not going to get into into the weeds here. I just want to basically give an overview of what I consider my fitness platform and an overall fitness program. So let me show you. Alrighty, let's talk about Mr. Mark's fitness platform. Now what you see here is a rudimentary drawing of a platform, or a table if you wish, and it is supported by 4 pillars or legs. And my goal is to keep this platform completely level. I don't want it to be askew in any way. I want it to be completely level. And to do that, of course, we're going to have to keep each one of these legs at equal lengths, meaning each one of these pillars is going to get the proper amount of attention. They're all of equal value, and that will keep my platform level and hopefully is going to meet my overall fitness definition. Now let's go over the pillars real quick, and then we'll touch on some details in a second. And these are in no particular order because, as I said, they're all of equal value. But we'll start with strength. Strength is one of the pillars, and if you've been following me for a while, you know I'm a big fan of strength training for older adults in particular, just to obviously maintain physical strength, which would manifest itself in being able to improve your balance, for example, your mobility, our ability to interact in the world, to live, in an active way, to participate and just have, a quality of life. And strength also incorporates maintaining muscle mass. Again, as we age, you know that we're constantly battling muscle loss. It's just a natural fact. So I want to fight that, slow it down, maybe even help it a little bit, maybe put on a little bit of muscle. So strength, vital leg, vital pillar. Second, cardiovascular strength. I mean, I think that goes without saying. I think it's very easy, though, to forget about it or put it off because maybe it's too hard. Well, what I'm doing to make it not too hard for me is I'm staying in an aerobic state as opposed to an anaerobic state. Anaerobic meaning oxygen debt, huffing and puffing, high intensity interval training type things. So when I take care of my cardiovascular pillar, what I'm doing is walking. And you may or may not know this, but I am a giant fan of walking, and I'm going to do a video on walking alone and why I think it's so fabulous. But that takes care of my cardiovascular pillar. I try to get 60 minutes in every day of walking, and I've got a pretty good streak going now. I think I'm at 8 or 9 days of 60 minutes plus of walking. And again, I don't want to get into the details of that, but I consider it fabulous. We'll talk about that more in another video. But another aspect to that cardiovascular pillar, I mentioned anaerobic. So this is aerobic, lower steady state heart rate. We can get into anaerobic during our strength training. We're going to get into an oxygen debt. Say, for example, if you're squatting, you say you're doing a set of squats and it's 8 or 10 reps, you're going to easily get into oxygen debt state, and it's going to be more or less like a high intensity interval training. So that kind of takes care of both sides of the cardiovascular coin. When you're doing strength, I think we hit the anaerobic state, and that coupled with the aerobic state of walking, perfect combination. Okay, the third leg, nutrition. Again, goes without saying, proper nutrition is the fuel for all this stuff. Now for me, I've just recently finished up a lose 7 pounds of body fat in 7 weeks program, which I'll link up here in the corner, by the way. And along, what I learned there was, I was trying to get lean in general, but lately, so what I learned and what I'm focusing on now on this particular nutrition pillar is eating clean, taking processed foods out of my diet, paying attention to what I'm eating, documenting it, prepping it. When I sit down to eat, pay attention to the fact that I'm eating, paying attention to my macros and making it a conscious thing, not just okay, I'm in a hurry, I have to eat. Nutrition is something that's a lot of times it gets pushed to the back, and we don't want to do that. And fourth one that I've just recently added, like in the last 3, 4, 5 months, is flexibility. So prior to this, I guess my platform would have been a 3-legged stool, which would have been strength, cardiovascular, and nutrition. This flexibility element, to me, is every bit as important as strength and cardiovascular and nutrition. Flexibility, speaking of mobility and with strength training, well, flexibility, as we age in particular, is going to help with mobility. It's going to help with balance. There's just a lot of aspects to flexibility that don't seem evident at first, but they're there. That's another one I want to do another video on, because I'm still learning this. There's a lot to learn about flexibility. That's almost like a physical therapy kind of session, and I'm still learning, but it is definitely now one of the 4 pillars of my fitness platform. But the flexibility element plays into the strength, for example, with squatting. It really does. And most anything else in a day-to-day, getting out of a car, waking up without being stiff, and just feeling better about putting socks on. So there it is. That's my fitness platform, and really what I'm trying to do here is just stay in equilibrium. I don't want to sacrifice flexibility at the expense of just doing strength training. I don't want to sacrifice strength by totally focusing on cardiovascular strength. For example, surely if you're training for a marathon or a half marathon, or you're a runner in general, you're fit. There's a definition of fit there, but there's an element that's missing from that. Say, for example, strength, or if when I was really into running, that's all I was doing. And I wasn't doing things like, I'm pointing to my pull-up bar here. I wasn't doing things like pull-ups or push-ups or strength training. And it showed. It got to the point where I couldn't really do, or wasn't doing them very well at all. And for me, in my world, I want that to all be in equilibrium. So I don't want to sacrifice cardiovascular health for strength. And I certainly don't want to just disregard nutrition because it's inconvenient. All of these things, they require a focus and a conscious effort to do it. But once you get on this and you start figuring it out, and you start feeling better about having this platform really stable, it just becomes second nature. And this morning when I was out on a walk, I was thinking about this. And I said, well, you know what? I think I'm just going to talk about it for a minute, present it, and show you what I'm doing and how I approach it. Now, having said that, I'd love to hear what your definition of fitness is. What in your mind comprises fitness for the normal, non-elite athlete, people like you and me that are just trying to stay in the game? This is something we're doing for ourselves to maintain our ability to participate in life. So what is your definition of fitness? I'd love to hear it. But there you go. That's my Mark's Fitness platform. And So appreciate you stopping in today and hanging out with me for this. I appreciate it. Hope there was something there of value. And I'd like to hear something back of value, because I know you guys and gals out there have a lot of good input. You really do. So thank you. And if you would, hit that like button for me. And if you haven't, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Come join our group for more content like this. It would be great to have you. And I guess that's it for today. I'm going to get me some lunch together and then go about whatever the rest of my day entails. So until next time, go get 'em. Mark out.